Hey there. So, typically, analog hardware recording gear is perceived to be very expensive. And it really can be. Often you get what you pay for. But you can very quickly get into heavily diminishing returns. You can pay thousands for infinitesimal increases in quality. And is this expense really worth it, given the final result is going to be streamed over 5G via an MP3 via Spotify? Well, that debate can rage on in the comments. I'll let you guys fight amongst yourselves on that one. With regards to analog hardware, I think it is human nature to push boundaries. Hence, products like Manly exist, combining the highest quality parts, often custom made, with the forefront of physics and hyper advanced electronic engineering. Now, the expense of this can make a lot of analog hardware inaccessible to a lot of people. But there are other options, and there's probably a lot of people watching this video wondering whether it's worth a punt on analog gear. Can you really hear the difference when plugins are as good as they are these days? Now, the debate rages on in the forums, and I expect you guys to all chip in the comments below. So the question is, are there cheap analog options, and are they worth considering? Are they any good? To get into analog hardware, to use external preamps or compressors for mixing your music through, you'll need an audio interface with some expansive I/O or in and outs. Now, this doesn't need to be huge, but something as simple as the Audient ID44, Universal Audio Vault 4, or the Scarlett 18i8. These have 4 outputs and 4 inputs, so you can run 4 mono channels through your hardware or 2 stereo sends and returns. You can get into the cheap rack-mounted stuff. Clark Technic is available, or Warm Audio, if you're willing to spend a little bit more money. I've got a couple of their compressors, and I use them all the time. With the Clark Technic stuff, a mix engineer friend of mine bought 6 of the 76 compressors, listened to them all, found the best 2, and sent 4 of them back because apparently, and this is not my opinion, apparently the quality control isn't amazing. So at the lower end of the spectrum, the reality is most of the time you are getting what you pay for. Now, if you were to go down the 500 route like I did, there's various pros and cons I'll probably go into another video, and it can seem like a slightly more initial expensive investment because you need a rack or a lunchbox, as they're called, to house all of your units. Quickly, the beauty of 500 series is you can get many units per rack. I have the Wes Audio Super Carrier 2s, which have 11 slots in, and yes, it powers all 11 sufficiently, but you can get more basic units such as the Heritage Audio OST4, which has 4 slots, which could be perfect if you're just looking to start your first 500 series rack and just gently tickle your toes in the water there. But overall, it can be better value in the long run because the units are smaller, saving space, and they're usually cheaper than their 19-inch rack-mounted counterparts. There are numerous budget-friendly 500 series brands and units available, and you might be thinking, Ed, you've just said you get what you pay for, so why would you buy cheap? Well, I came across HRK Audio, and they kindly sent me their 566 channel strips to play with, and I have to say, I was genuinely surprised with how good these units sound. They feature a custom discrete op-amp VCA compressor, a solid-state drive console emulator for analog saturation and harmonics, 4 bands of equalization, each band with 2 frequency settings, and an augmented HRK active transformer, which adds the final touch to the signal by injecting some subtle harmonics. And we're going to listen to each of these stages in a minute, but just have a listen to it on a master bus, A being so you can hear just actually what quality you can get from some relatively cheap 500 series units.
Open up your heart, open up your mind. Don't let them keep you trapped inside. They'll never understand the way that you raise your hand. They'll never know just who you are. So keep your head up.
Now these units have been stereo linked. They come with a little cable and you just have to clip one into the other before you put the second one into the rack. What it does is basically evens out and controls the volume coming out of both, so the stereo level is the same volume. You do still, however, obviously have to be quite accurate with matching them either visually or by ear. But as you can hear, I think they're processing clean and smooth audio. There's a really nice top end sparkle and sheen on these, and the low end density and control is rather remarkable. Let's quickly take a look at these units on acoustic guitar. So if you're looking to venture into 500 series, you can get a relatively inexpensive rack. These are currently on sale at £314. I think they're usually £378, which I think is great value for money. And HRK have plenty of other units, including a valve opto compressor, EQs, a tape saturator, a harmonics processor, and even summing boxes in a 500 series format. Don't let the prices fool you in this case. I'll post the high resolution audio files on my website, link in the description below for that. So you can hear these side by side for yourself. They'll be in 48K resolution. Now, of course, to access these products, you'll need the rack and additional I/O on your interface. I'll cover this kind of stuff in another video. So subscribe if you're interested in that. In the meantime, I've posted links in the description to other videos suggesting how you can expand your I/O easily and relatively cheaply. Thank you for watching. It's been 500 and I've been Ed Thorn.